Welcome back in live to another episode of Rock Boys Football. We are coming to you today with the Pittsburgh Steelers mock draft for the 2022 NFL Draft. I'm flying solo today, kind of grinding some mock drafts out. Again, early on, the Steelers are kind of sitting in a little limbo, just around 500, showing some glaring needs, trying to make a playoff push and give Big Ben a good send-off. Overall goals of this draft is if a quarterback falls, he falls. I don't know what Mike Tomlin and what that organization wants to do, but they have to figure out life after Ben Roethlisberger. But there are a lot of good prospects out for the Steelers to get. We also want to make sure that offensive line is better than it has been this year. So we're going to go ahead and start the draft. They still have Kevon Thibodeau, one. I don't agree with that. I think Hutch just played his way into that number one overall spot. But Andrew Booth, the Texans, that's a horrible pick. Kevon Thibodeau falls. We'll see. Deontay John. I like the receiving core as much as I hate Clay Chasepool as like a person, but we'll see. They're sitting at 15. We're just going to reject that. Okay, Kenyan Green falls and Charles Cross. Kenyan Green is probably my favorite interior guy. I think he's been playing tackle for Texas A&M this year and has looked really, really solid. I think he's more of a guard in the pros just due to that lack of length. Pro edge rushers are just going to get to him. But he's been very, very solid, and he is a great guard. I've loved the film that I've watched on Kenyan Green. And then Charles Cross is a buck-end tackle that is really good in pass pro. Maybe not so much in that run game, smaller frame. I'm going to go and get Kenyan Green. They just got Najee Harris. The Steelers, they like to run the ball. They play in that colder environment when it gets into the winter, December months. You're going to want somebody who can move bodies and get Najee Harris some space to work with because Najee Harris, as good as he's looked, there's just not much room for him to run a lot of these plays. So we're going to go up and get Kenyan Green. I think that's a phenomenal pick. Tyler Linderbaum's obviously phenomenal. God, if I'm the Steelers, or somebody's got to pick Charles Cross. You see the Eagles go up and get a linebacker. I like to see that. They've needed a linebacker for years. Nakobe Dean's my one linebacker prospect, although Devin Lloyd is darn close. Dax Hill, one of the guys I really like, Kevin Kwanu. Kevin Kwanu wouldn't have been a horrible pick for the Steelers either. He's more of a tackle, better length, and also phenomenal in the run game. But I think you got a future Pro Bowler with Kenyan Green. That dude, he's phenomenal. We're sitting at 47. All right. Jalen Wademeyer went. I'm not interested in him. Brandon Smith and Christian Harris. I think these guys kind of remind me of similar prospects. Brandon Smith and Christian Harris have tremendous athletic traits. They fly around the field. Both just seem to see the game a little bit slower than they need to. Brandon Smith has phenomenal length, phenomenal sideline to sideline speed, but from the film I've watched, which has only been a couple games, he seems to kind of get lost, not filling in the right holes. More catching as opposed to kind of getting downhill. My neighbors are having a blast. I think they're watching the Jake Paul fight. Having more fun than I am this Saturday night. Let's look where we got some other prospects. Sam Williams is a riser too. Sean Ryan, my brother, really, really likes. I think Jahan Dotson's a solid get. Darian Kennard's another guy who I see more as a guard kind of in the pros. But they still have him listed as a tackle. We kind of fixed the offensive line. I'm going to go up and get Christian Harris. I think he's a cat who can really put it together. I'm kind of looking at the Steelers' depth chart, who they might need. They got Joe Sherber, who I think is phenomenal. They got Devin Bush through 2024. So we kind of went best player available there. They have solid linebackers. Devin Bush, you're hoping he kind of figures it out after that ACL tear. I'm not a huge fan of that Christian Harris pick. And this team's not far off. It's just the offensive line stinks. I don't think Big Ben really has it anymore. And whatever quarterback you end up going with, you want him to be ready and have decent talent around him. And I think that's kind of what they've done. If I would have known Darian Kennard falls to us there, I think I go Charles Cross, then get Darian Kennard in the interior, kind of bolster up that run game and protection wise. Nick Bonito. Nick Bonito, TJ Watt, that's not a bad obviously TJ Watt's phenomenal. What are the measurables on those guys? I feel like they're pretty similar. Like they both are edge rush, 3-4 backers. Let's get the height and weight on TJ Watt there. 6'4", 251. I think Nick Bonito is going to be very, very similar. Let's get his weight too. Yeah, 6'3", 240. So a little bit smaller. Nick Bonito is a phenomenal pass rusher. I really don't hate that pick. Who they got on the other side there? I know Chris Wormley doesn't. Alex Highsmith's played really well. I think from what I've heard, he was kind of the reason Melvin Ingram decided they moved on from Melvin Ingram. So I'm kind of thinking Cam Hayward is on his last. Like he's still playing such phenomenal ball at the age of 32. They got him through 2025. I need good cornerbacks. I know that could be kind of a position in need for them. I know Joe Hayden's still around. I really like Nick Bonito, especially at this value, though. Jalen Petrie, he's a very, very intriguing as well. Alec Lindstrom's been good. If you want a mauler. We're going to go ahead and get Nick Bonito and kind of bolster up that pass. So she's a little bit of a project. I see a really good fit there with that Steelers defense. If you have TJ Watt on one side and you develop Nick Bonito into another elite pass rusher, you got a phenomenal pass rush. In this day of age, that's what it's about. Can you get pressure on the quarterback with 4 guys? If you can and you're able to drop the other 7, that's a recipe for a really good defense. I think the Bucs are really showing that. 97. A running back you don't need. You have Najee and then Benny Snell to spell him. Quay Walker's another guy. If we didn't go up and get Christian Harris, I like. I think we'll see Grayson McCall go back to school. I really hope he transfers into a Power 5. I love his game. This is where you might swing at a quarterback if you really like one. I like Bailey Zappi. I just watched his bowl game this morning. Phenomenal. He is so accurate. I want to go get him. Let's see if we have any other guys we like before we reach up for him. Jackson Kirkland, I just have not liked what I've seen out of him. Who do they got at the center position these days? Kenyan Green. None of these guys really excite me. Let's check the defensive side of the ball here. I like the draft. I like what we're filling out. If I would have done one thing differently, I think I would have gone with someone else instead of Christian Harris at that second pick. Chris Hinton, I think, is a good candidate to go back to school. Any wide receivers that we might like? Anita Smith, man. He's kind of a scat guy. Was a converted running back. George Pickens I really like too. Kind of a bigger body. Very good contested catcher. Deontay Johnson, in my opinion, is a top 10 wide receiver right now. They're going to have to try to re-sign him. He is phenomenal at getting separation. They just signed Juju, so they don't really – and Pat Freiermuth obviously has been phenomenal. This guy's kind of just an offensive weapon. I don't know how much the Steelers like using those guys. Am I going to have to take Bailey Zappi right now? So I will. I'm going to take Bailey Zappi. This guy's worth what made Big Ben very successful in Pittsburgh getting the ball out quick and on time and accurate, Bailey Zappe's your guy for that. He doesn't have the crazy arm strength that some top prospects like last year have, but he is phenomenally accurate, makes good decisions. I worry that it was a little bit less of a pro-style offense that they ran at Western Kentucky. You know, that spread, air raid, a little bit different from what Pittsburgh likes to run. Didn't really show that he could do it in the cold either, which is a thing. But it's worth a shot. I mean, there wasn't really any prospect that really intrigued me there. I wish George Pickens fell. That's too bad. And so we went up and got a quarterback who could be a bridge guy. I don't think Mason Rudolph is certainly not your answer. I don't know if free agency is your answer too. It's kind of a weird year for the Steelers, you know, trying to bridge that gap between Big Ben. I think Big Ben stayed a little longer than he should have, but let's just start looking at guys we might be eyeing here. We got a big gap in between our next pick. Jerrion Ealy's I mean, you know how Najee Harris is just a 3-down back. I like teams taking Jerrion Ealy because I think could be a potential phenomenal like third down back. Naeem Hines very, very good catching the ball out of the backfield, extremely good in space. I like Jamari Slayer. He's playing left tackle for the Bulldogs right now. I think he definitely projects more as a guard. Again, this would just kind of bolster that offensive line, and you get two really strong interior guys that are going to help you establish that run. Jamari Slayer is a great candidate for that. This Max Mitchell kid, I haven't watched that much film on him. He's going to need a Pro Bowl, though, for sure. Zion Nelson, I think, is a great candidate to go back to school. He just didn't make the step into that third year that I think a lot of people would have liked. Let's go get Jamari Slayer. I love the guys who, like him and Kenyan Green, are both playing tackle but project more to guard with those short arms and more like squatty bodies, I guess you'd say. I'm interested to see how Jamari does against Hutch and Ajabo in this playoff game. Two longer edge rushers. Jamari Slayer looks very good against Will Anderson, though, in the SEC championship game, I will say. Son Haskins, I love seeing him go. He's a dog. Good for him. Good for them. Good on the Chargers. Balance out us in that clear. They got a lot of rookie running backs now if they were to take him. We're definitely not going. Let's check the big board. Tyler Batty's had a phenomenal year. I don't love Kennedy Brooks. Zamani Richardson's been, I might want to go take him. That A&M defense looks so good, and he was a great part of it. I love Greg Dulcich. He's been a guy I look for teams to get. If they didn't have Freiermuth, I love his game. Let's check the other safeties before I settle on him. I wish we got a cornerback too. We could check the cornerbacks. Joey Porter Jr., I think, is another good candidate to go to school, but he is so long, and he's pretty sticky too for that length. Teams that like to play more zone coverage, I think he's going to be phenomenal for. Let's go up and get Damani Richardson. I think he's earned a spot. He's earned a spot there. Nasir Greer is another interesting guy. I wish he could stay healthy for Wake. I got to get more film on Damani Richardson. That A&M defense and all. I've watched a lot of DeMarvin Leal. Watched a little Leon O'Neal. We got one more pick, it looks like. I'm going to take a flyer on Joey Porter. I think hit that length. I mean, if you go out and see, let's just look up a picture of him. Look at these arms. These arms are going to be so. Joey Porter Jr., just give me a picture of him. I mean, he is very long. These arms, man. Look at that wingspan. try fitting a ball over him in zone coverage. Couldn't. I like that pick. I really do. I think the Steelers are done. So we'll see who else goes. We'll see if we can see any more sleeper prospects. She's definitely a sleeper prospect. Greg Dulcich. He's phenomenal. He's a little bit of a matchup nightmare. Oh, we're picking. I like you guys. I'm forgetting them. Now it's just like you're looking for some depth guys. You're looking for kind of a diamond in the rough. Micah McFadden's been a popular guy that I've gone with. I think he'll be just a phenomenal special teamer. I might just go get him because how big is he? He rushes the passer at a phenomenal level. And he plays hard. I wonder if you could kick him out to that 3-4. I think he's just going to be too light there. I don't think they have a big enough frame to play. Yeah, 231. Man, I like that dude, though. I really like him. Jack Sanborn's another guy. What's he? He also has been rushing the passer really well, I believe. Another Wisco guy. So he's a little bit bigger. How many sacks does he have on the year? Because I'm pretty sure he's not just I think he can rush the passer a little bit. 74, 3.5 sacks. It's interesting. He's a guy that, you're getting these guys, they're going to play special teams for you, and they're going to play hard for you, and they're just good guys to have in your locker room. Guys that you think will just develop at a high level. That's what has to I love James Cook. I think he's so smooth. I'm going to go out and get Jack Sanborn. I love this kid. I think he's been so good. He's been so good for so long. Isaiah Moore from NC State has been a guy I really liked watching. Haven't watched that much film on him, but just as a fan, I wish he stayed healthy because he's a dog. All right, Steelers are a fun one to do because this roster is not that bad. Kenyan Green, I love this pick. I'm very, very happy with this pick. Christian Harris, if I would have done this again, I think I would have gone maybe Darian Kennard. Maybe one double up on that O-line as I see their weakest point. They don't really need a linebacker. I love Christian Harris as a prospect. I just don't know if he's the biggest position in need. Bailey Zappi, Nick Bonito. I like those picks. I think Nick Bonito can be a great 3-4 backer, getting after the pass, getting after the quarterback. Jamari Slayer, I really like. Definitely could be a tackle if you need him to, but he'll be a phenomenal guard. Day one starter, in my opinion. He's done a long time at Georgia. Bailey Zappi, man. And we just kind of took some flyers. Joey Porter, I love that length. So not a bad draft. Really not a bad draft. I liked it. That'll do it for the Steelers. Comment below, what do you think I missed? It's been a pleasure. I love doing these, and thank you guys for the support. Talk to y'all later. Peace.